Ladies and gentlemen, this content is brought to you by Frenkels and Frenkels, the best personal injury lawyers in the DFW. If you get into an accident or get hit by a truck, call the Frenkels immediately. Because if you call the insurance company, they're going to try to get over it. If you call your mama, she going to panic. You need to call the Frenkels and they can tell you what to do step by step. And it's free consultation, which makes them different from some of these other law firms because it's always this payment just to talk to somebody. You may talk to a robot. You may get a call center or something like that. If you call the Frenkels, 9 times out of 10, you're going to talk to a Frenkel. Let me tell you something. Insurance companies do not like these guys. You can go to their website, FrenkelFirm.com, scroll to the bottom, and you can see some of the wins from their clients and the money that they made. They have 100 years of combined experience, and they used to defend some of these insurance companies. So they took that experience, knowing how they operate, and they're using it against them to help you. Honesty and transparency go a long way. These people don't even charge you for a consultation. They want to talk to you directly. If you're in the DFW area and you've been into an accident, got hit by a car or a truck, sorry that happened to you. But listen, tap in with the Frenkels and tell them that Voch sent you. Call the Frenkels first, 214-333-3333, or go to FrenkelFirm.com. And appreciate y'all.
Well, come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
Come on in, come on in, come on in.
Hey, Voch.
Top of the morning. I'm your host, Voch Lombardi. Appreciate y'all for being here. I'm kind of gonna talk to 2 platforms here. Just anybody that may be listening, or 3 or 4 platforms if you tune in on Twitter or if you catch this on the replay on the clips or whatnot. But this is a Bleacher Report production. Shouts out to everybody at Bleacher Report, all my good friends over there that hold it down for me. They're doing great things with your favorite local streamers. So if you're a Cowboy fan and you may not be into reading articles like I am, you may just want to see some video, you may just want to see some clips, you may be into streams. Bleacher Report has brought in and employed, put some good money in the pocket of your favorite local streamer. So it ain't even Cowboys fans. I know on my Cowboys YouTube there are some Dolphins fans there for whatever reason. Hey, there's a Dolphins tab for you, there's a draft tab for you, there's an NFL MMA tab for you. So y'all be sure to tap in on the Bleacher Report app to get all the sports that you need. Now, man, ladies and gentlemen, boy, I just want to have a conversation here. There go my stream. I'm about to put this out to the masses here. I just want to have a conversation with y'all. Quick little conversation, nothing crazy. There was a couple of people in my comments, all over my comments or whatever, right? And I was having a conversation with Brian Broad. Shouts out to him, and he asked me. He say, "Voch, you're in this position in the draft, assuming we're going to be somewhere in the top 10. If you take care of business and let other teams shoot themselves in the foot, you'll be a top 5 drafting team here." We haven't had that in a while. He asked me, "Voch, do you think we should take one of these picks and possibly draft a quarterback in which that person will one day replace Dak Prescott?" I thought it was a good question. My response to him was, Voch says this. I said, "No, Brian, I feel what you're saying, but in my mind, you have a franchise quarterback already. And I always say that whether that quarterback reaches your expectations or not, there's more hot garbage quarterbacks than there are franchise quarterbacks. So if you have what you would deem to call of franchise quarterbacks, in which those are rare, I think it's less than 15 of them. I think then it's your responsibility to build around that player. That player may not be a top 5 player. That player may not be a top 10 player. That player may not have a lot of success in the postseason. But in my personal opinion, regardless of how much that damn player costs, because that's just the cost to do business, if you have a franchise quarterback, you build around them. That's how I feel. One word call. That's how I feel, right? So with that, you having a franchise quarterback, I told Brian Broad, I said, well, Brian, what you should do at that point is you should take pieces to build around them, right? As Cowboy fans in good conscience, we can't go, O-line sucks, running back situation sucks, outside of CD Lamb, we suck, play caller sucks, head coach sucks, owner general manager sucks. You can't then look at your quarterback and be like, oh, he should be able to carry us because he makes $60 million. If you feel like I'm talking directly to you, good, because I probably am. But there's no way you can look at your quarterback after saying all those things and be like, oh, well, such and such and such. Because there are other quarterbacks that you respect that have a loaded roster around them. But you may or may not hold that player to those standards. So I say, look, man, Brian, if it's me, I'm taking that pick and I'm putting a stud on this football team. And that's how the Cowboys operate. They like to draft and develop. So take a stud. You got him cheap for about 5 years, or cheaper than the going rate for 5 years, and you build around the operation that you have. That was my point. Boy, you should have seen the people in the chat. And look, to be fair, it wasn't everybody in the chat. It was a handful of people in the chat. So if you feel that I'm talking directly to you, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But there was a couple of people in the chat saying all kind of, just weird little stuff for no reason. Just weird little stuff for no, you're not allowed to say nothing positive about somebody before somebody comes in and say some nonsense, right? So here's me addressing those people directly. And this is for anybody, whether you're on Bleacher Report, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. This is me addressing you directly. Voch says this. So you have your first round pick. Here's the rules. I'm not opposed to moving on from the quarterback. I'm not opposed to moving on from Dak Prescott. Some people call me a Dak apologist, whatever. That's your prerogative. You can call me what you like. I'm just glad you clicked the button and tuned in. Hit the like. You know what I said? I'm glad you hit the button. You can call me what you like. Call me a Dak apologist. That's fine. I'm not opposed to moving on from Dak Prescott. I'm fine with that. If you're the GM, if your last name is Jones, if you move on from Dak Prescott, you'll have my support. But you only got one job at that point. You got to find me better than Dak Prescott. That's it. That's the whole point here. I feel like we would learn a lesson, right? Like you move on from Dan Quinn because you feel like Dan Quinn is not good enough, but the new Dan Quinn guy is worse. Oh, you want to move on from Kellen Moore because Kellen Moore is not good enough, but the new Kellen Moore guy is worse? That's the conversation that we're going to have, right? So, fine, let's move on from Dak Prescott. I'm with you. Voch is on your team. I'm with you. And boy, if you feel like you're being attacked, damn it, you might. I'm with you. Let's move on from Dak Prescott, but he got to be better. You can't move on from a quarterback or be happy to move on from a quarterback that doesn't have success in the playoffs just to give me a quarterback that can't make the playoffs. We got to talk about this. Let's be honest. So you feel like, oh, well, a first round or a top 5 pick will save me. A top 10 pick will save me. Man, Voch love lists, man. That's a good thing about the internet, my boy. We could just figure this out. You know what I'm saying? We could just cross this bridge and just pull up some facts and just talk about this for a second. Hey, shouts out to you. If you think I'm talking about you, I probably am. Shouts out to you. I know you're probably looking at the success that the Houston Texans have and go, boy, it'd be nice to have a CJ Stroud. I know you're probably looking at the Washington Football Wizards. You may be a little jealous of them and go, boy, I'd sure be happy if I can get a Jaden Daniels. Let me tell you something. For every CJ Stroud and Jaden Daniels, there are 15 to 20 Mac Joneses that are waiting for you. They are waiting for you. So let's take a look at the draft picks here. Hey, y'all, look, y'all feel like a draft pick can save you. And look, this ain't about just moving on from Dak Prescott. Because if this was only about moving on from Dak Prescott, I just want you to be a real one and say that. If you just sick of Dak Prescott, be a real one and say that. If you think that you can get better from Dak Prescott, let's have a conversation, dog. Let's just run this for the cardio. All right, cool. Look at it. All right, cool. Let's do this. So, let's just try to ignore some of the players at the top here, right? In this last year's draft class. Okay. Let's just attempt to ignore those guys because in real life, these guys are young. These guys are, it's too early to make an assessment for them. It's too early to make an assessment for them. So we're not going to look at the guys from this year's class. Okay. Let's just move on. Let's just move on and see what the rest of these guys did from last year. So the first overall pick would have gotten you Bryce Young. The first overall pick would have gotten you Bryce Young in 2023. Is he better than Dak Prescott? Is he better than Dak Prescott? The answer is absolutely not. And don't forget, right? Don't forget, this isn't about is he gonna just be a good quarterback? This isn't about just, oh, well, can he come in and do XYZ? You've got to be better than Dak Prescott. Bryce Young can't even get 4 wins, let alone then win 4 postseason games. So we moving on from that. Anthony Richardson just looked at his coach and says, I'm tired. Anthony Richardson looked over the sideline and his coach said, hey, I'm tired. Can I come out a few plays? I'm exhausted. Can I just come out a few plays? Chad, if you think that who was the 4th overall pick, that might be where the Cowboys drafted at. Anthony Richardson, is he better? I just want to let you answer. I'm not putting any of my opinions into this. I'm just letting you answer, right? CJ Stroud, I have my own personal opinions, and I'll take my own personal opinions out of this. If you feel like CJ Stroud is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott right now, I won't fight with you. I'll possibly disagree with you at some point, but I will not get into a real life fight with you if you feel like CJ Stroud is better. I'll fight you if you think Will Levis is better. Hendon Hooker. None of those guys come in right now are better than Dak Prescott, or they win you playoff games. Or finishing second in the MVP for that matter. To be fair, CJ Stroud ain't either. And look, this is another okay, cool. Let's add the conversation about CJ Stroud then. We ain't doing that. Let's add look, CJ Stroud had a really good first year. He looks a little different this year. So I do think CJ Stroud will develop and overcome some of his young quarterback stuff. But at this point right now, I don't know. But hey, I'm not here to cool. I'll go CJ Stroud. Fine. CJ Stroud will he'll imaginary save your season. Let's just move on to to the next draft, man. We ain't doing nothing now. The first quarterback off the board was damn Kenny Pickett. That's a first round pick right there. Kenny Pickett backing up Jalen Hurts or something right now. Am I wrong? Chad, am I wrong? Ain't Kenny Pickett backing up something like that? What about Desmond Ridder, who was the second quarterback off the list? Mind you, also think it's important that what the draft experts, I'm keeping my opinion out of this, right? What the draft experts are saying is that this quarterback class isn't as good as the last few quarterback classes. They're saying that this quarterback class isn't as good as the last few quarterback classes. So you can look at Shador and be like, oh, he's the new hot thing. He'll be better than Dak Prescott in no time. Hey, we don't know. What's my man's from Miami? Hold on. Cam Ward, Jalen Milroe, all those guys. Hey, I don't think that draft class is better than what you'll have with last year's draft class. Well, hey, we'll talk about it. We'll see. Even if you go, oh, Voch, Jaden Daniels is changing how the Washington football Wizards look. Hey, look, I'll take that. It's very early in his career. I'll take that. Is he the runner-up in the MVP? What does his postseason look like? I think it's too soon to have a conversation about the young guys this year. But let's just keep going. I want to know about all these first-round quarterbacks that are saviors. Brock Purdy was drafted in the 13th round, so, I mean, ain't nobody saw that coming. Everybody passed on Brock Purdy. Here we go, the 2021 draft. Trevor Lawrence, the first overall pick. The new Peyton Manning is what they called him. Hold on, let's go back now. I also think ain't Trevor Lawrence like the highest paid quarterback in football, or the second one, like behind Dak or something like that, by the cap hit? Is Trevor Lawrence better than Dak? Has Trevor Lawrence won a playoff game yet? I know he almost did. Then Herbert came back and whooped him or something crazy like that, and I don't think he's been back since. Decent talent around him. Doug Peterson's won a Super Bowl before. Zach Wilson. Man, Trey Lance on the team right now, bro. Man, this dude, they on whole new teams. Zach Wilson on whole new teams. Trey Lance, Justin Fields on whole new teams. Mac Jones on whole new teams. I don't even know if Kyle Trask even exists anymore. Kellen Mond on a whole new team. Davis Mills, ain't he on a whole new team? I don't think Ian Book in the league no more. That's a whole class that ain't better than Dak Prescott right now. I got questions. I'm not opposed to the idea of replacing Dak Prescott, but you can't miss. And look, even if you want to take the route of, I just want to draft a quarterback somewhere in the middle of the rounds and develop him and see if he'll end up better. Hey, I'll take that. But the idea that just because we got a top pick, you would rather take a quarterback over one of the other studs at the other position? Abdul Carter, pass rusher, Travis Hunter, wide receiver, corner, Ted McMillan, corner, Luther Burden, corner, Ashton Genty, running back, Mason Graham, defense tackle. You mean to tell me you want to pass on those guys to draft a quarterback that may or may not be better than what you got right now? Hey, man, if you feel attacked, man, I might be talking to you. I might be talking directly to your soul. Joe Burrow's a guy. Besides his first Super Bowl run, I mean, we ain't seen much from him, but I do think Joe Burrow's a guy. Tua and Justin Herbert, I feel like they got the same criticism that Dak has right now. Tua and Justin Herbert have the same criticisms that people are giving Dak Prescott right now. I don't think Justin Herbert or Tua even won a playoff game. I'm just having a conversation with y'all. If you think I'm talking about you, I might be, if the shoe fits. Jordan Love, I mean, look, I'll keep my opinion to myself, but even I'll let you make a case for Jordan Love. I won't even fuss with you. I'll allow you to make a case for Jordan Love. I won't fuss with you. I ain't fussing with you. I'll allow somebody to come in and say, well, Voch, man, I think Jordan Love, I think he got what it takes to run the block and be better than Dak Prescott and win more playoff games than Dak Prescott. I think Jordan Love beat Dak in the playoff game, but hey, Jordan Love was in the MVP race last year. He was in the MVP conversation, I guess. He was like the 4th or 5th guy. Dak ended second. Jordan Love ended up, 4 or 5 or something like that. And Jordan Love is getting paid money right now. So even if you want to say, well, Voch, I'll take Jordan Love over Dak Prescott, here's my point. That's 2 guys so far since the 2020 draft class. That's 2 quarterbacks since the 2020 draft class, even if you consider Jordan Love. Dak seems similar to Byron Leftwich. Byron Leftwich has never been in the running for MVP, sir. I don't think Byron Leftwich ever took his offense to I don't think he's ever had a number 1 offense before. I like Byron Leftwich. I thought Byron lost his job to David Garrard or something like that. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. But they're both black guys. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Dak and Byron Leftwich are all that similar, but I like Byron Leftwich too. But it's cool. Jalen Hurts, listen, fine. I got my own personal opinion about Jalen Hurts. And there's Cowboy there's Eagles fans. There's Eagles fans. You cannot question the MVP. How can you question the MVP? How can you question the MVP? How can you question the MVP? The MVP is a regular season award. How can you question the MVP? If anything, he had a better year than Lamar Jackson. By a regular season standpoint, how could you question the MVP? But listen, that's my whole point too. We ain't even look when we hear people criticize Dak, it's not even from a regular season standpoint. It's postseason. If anybody's hating on Dak Prescott, the regular season quarterback, that's hating. That's hating if we talking about Dak, the regular season quarterback. Dak ain't even got a losing season under his belt. He at least finished 3-3 this year against bad teams. Don't they all? Don't they all? Tell it to Tom Brady who had to play the Dolphins and the Jets and the damn Bills when they were all bad. Hey, look, we can do this all day, player. But I just want to keep running down my list. Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, rest in peace. Drew Lock, Will Greer, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen is one. So dating all the way back to the 2018 draft. And Lamar's another. So going back to the 2018 draft, there's 5 quarterbacks, and I'm not counting 2024 because those guys are young. There's 5 quarterbacks that you can even make an argument and say, oh yeah, they'll be better than Dak Prescott. And look, not even better than Dak Prescott, but I mean, we're making playoff runs. We're doing that kind of thing. We drafted a quarterback that has playoff success. That's my whole point here. So someone can call me a Dak apologist all day long and Voch, we need to take that pick and draft a quarterback. Shadur Sanders will come save us. What about all these kids that ain't saving no damn body? I mean, there go Pat Mahomes, but he the GOAT. Deshaun ain't better than Dak. That's my point here. I think if you have a franchise quarterback, just build around him. If you have a franchise quarterback, bro, just build around him. You can't say the O-line, the wide receivers, the running back, the play call, and the head coach is all trash and then come back and say, oh, yeah, well, Dak needs to do something about it because he makes $60 million. You can't do that. And in real life, you can. You'll just be wrong. You can 100% do it, but you'll just be wrong. All right? I just wanted to make this video. There's a bunch of people in my chat kind of calling me out on it. I think if you have a top 5 pick this year, especially with the idea that Dak is in his long contract, whether you agree with it or not, man, Dak is your quarterback. Whether you like him or not, Dak is your quarterback. It's your job now to build around him. It's your job to go and get some D lineman for that defense, maybe another pass rush for that defense, some wide receivers for him to throw to a running back to give the ball to, maybe some offensive linemen to kind of bolster what you got, fix your depth and all that with your other picks, and just try again, bro. Just try again. And look, here's the bright side about it, right? If Dak Prescott is trash this year, now you're in an Arch Manning conversation. I think Arch Manning would probably project to be a better quarterback than Shador, Cam Ward, and Jalen Milroe anyway. So that's it. That's it. Any questions? Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Love y'all to peace. Hey, y'all be sure to tell a friend. Y'all be sure to tell a friend to download the Bleacher Report app so they can see rants just like that. I don't even think this was a rant. I just think this was a conversation, man. I just think this was a good old talking to. This will go to a couple different platforms. I know different people are going to see this. So for anybody that's watching this retroactively, then you can leave a comment and I'll respond to your comment. I'll be watching all comments because I just want to hear what people got to say. Just get out your emotion for 2 seconds and just have a real logic-based conversation with Boogie. All right, love y'all to peace. Y'all hold down for the dose, squads, and piece of whiskey. Until next time, download the Bleacher Report app and make sure that your friends do the same. All right, I'm gone.